Good day, everybody. It's Max, and welcome to American Truck Simulator Live, you betcha. And in today's episode, it is the final trip of the Halloween event. Of course, the Halloween event started a couple of weeks ago, and they extended the event to November 6th because it kind of ran in conjunction with their beta testing, and they didn't want the beta people who had swept over to the beta testing to miss out on the event. So, of course, we took advantage of that, and we're going to do the last trip today. You know it. Ooh, all the things I had to quickly eat before we got started today. So, yeah, that food, it hasn't quite settled yet. So, with that, what are we doing today? Well, of course, for those who watch me later, feel free to do all the things. In fact, if you're watching this later, feel free to change the video speed to 2 times speed. I still sound awesome. And this way you can watch this video in half the time. I know, it's crazy. Let's switch over to the session border and all the things. Have a look at the background. Yes, gotta like the Halloween event. You know, it is. I must admit, this background is pretty cool. Of course, before we get started today, I want to thank all the recent subscribers as their names are scrolling across the bottom of the screen. And of course, everybody that watches later, I appreciate that as well. And we are getting a really nice shot. I'm just going to let this play here for a minute because we're getting some really nice shots of the Halloween background with the truck. So as you can see, I am still driving the TranStar Eagle. And I've changed its colors to Halloween style, so it's got orange and red flames with all black. It's kind of like the hollow head running down the highway. It's all really cool. Imagine my surprise when I woke up this morning to see a tweet from SCS. That's right. Texas will be out in just over a week, and on, I believe it's November 15th. And you know it will be here on the channel. We will definitely be driving into Texas. So I was going to drive from Montana to California with my final load. That being said, because they announced this morning of the Texas loop coming in here in just over a week, I've decided I'm going to take a load from the top of the map to the bottom of the map and literally be parked right beside where Texas is going to show up. All the way down at the bottom of New Mexico, you betcha. So with that, let's get switched over. Let's get started for the day. I push the buttons into things like this, Max. Now, as always, sound is a little bit weird, so I'm going to switch the screen over. If it is a little loud coming up on the old Metatron here, I'll have to play a little bit around with it, but we'll take it as it is. All right, there we go. As you can see, I've got a load ready to be picked up. I have not picked it up. I've not gassed up the truck. I have done nothing. We're going to do this all real time, people. You betcha. So with that, let's have a look where we are. We'll go to the map. We are way up here in Miles City, and it was the farthest north city I could get a load to go all the way south. So that's why we're here. I tried getting one from Sydney. I tried getting one from Glendive. They all wanted to go to like Utah. They all wanted to kind of go over here to Seattle and a few other places. And I was like, no. I mean, it was either going to California or bust. And then it was like, well, then they, of course, announced that Texas would be along here this next week, just over a week from now. And I was like, you know what? We got to go that way. So it turns out this load is going from Miles City to Hobbs. I mean, literally right on the border with Texas. We are going to be so there, people. So there. But we got this load to take down. You know it. So with that, let's pick this thing up. I believe it's 10 in the morning. And, 10 in the morning, we got things to do. Chop, get to it. Halloween treats. $137,000 for this load of Halloween treats driving across 4 states. That's actually a lot of money for these Halloween treats. And I'm not saying that the number isn't accurate. The loads on a truck are, depending on what it is you're hauling, loading or unloading or whatever, loads can, have that kind of impact. At the same time, though, I don't know if Halloween treats make $137,000. Okay, we are here at a Wally Mart. Wally Mart, that's right, let's go. There, of course, is the truck in its Halloween decor. Oh, yeah, it's looking awesome, isn't it? You betcha. And we're going to run around the corner here and pick this up. Now, of course, I'll be switching back to my standard truck for the... I'll be switching back to my Freightliner Argo C for the big run into Texas because of all the things. I've been driving the TransStar Eagle for a bit, just for a change. And of course, then when the Halloween event came out, I was like, oh yeah, we got to have that, right? It's all that in a bag of chips. Max, that was actually a pretty sloppy backup job here, dude. I gotta admit, that was not your best look. Can you do the sideways? Yeah, it's not really recommended to do, but we can do it. There we go. Okay, first things first. Well, I mean, we got a lot of gas. You know what? I was going to stop at this gas station right out here, but I think we'll hold off on that. I think we'll just we may take. You know what? We'll swing in. We'll swing in just so as we can see it, because I mean, you know, we're on adventure here today, people.
Turn left, and then turn right.
Okay, I will. All right. So we're gonna make turn left, turn right.
Turn right.
Yeah, well, I got no choice but to turn right. There's Annie's. I wonder what restaurant they're after. Well, Pizza House, I kind of have an idea on them. Annie's. I wonder what they're kind of gearing up towards that one. I'll have to think about it. You know, you kind of have a decent idea of what a lot of the places are, right? I mean, like, there's so much Starbucks in that. Actually, that might be the other coffee shop. Anyway, it is what it is. Oh, I forgot to turn left. Darn it. Listen, turn left here. No, yeah, turn left here. Oh, you're not gonna let me turn left here. Oh, that's very mean of you. All right, that's fine. I was gonna cut through your parking lot to go back the other way because I wanted to go back the other way. But I'll do this up here. I don't care. I'm fine. There's Dream Burger. Dreams are made of that burger right there. I mean, look at the dreams on that burger. All right, you're gonna let me turn in here now? Thank you. Yeah, I'm gonna drive through here, right? Yeah, rerouting. Don't worry about it, dude. Don't worry about it. We're rerouting. I just
when possible.
Yeah, make a U-turn when possible. I'll give you a U-turn. So of course I was gonna stop in here for fuel, but we're actually looking pretty good for fuel. And I thought, you know what, we'll just drag this all the way down. All the things. You betcha. Don't worry about finding a new route. You know, half the time I don't use the GPS anyway. So what are we going? Looks like we're gonna be doing a little bit of 59. Really? There's no interstate. Well, I could take Interstate 90. I mean, it's going to end up being Interstate 90 here at some point in time. And then what do they want? They want me to stay on this 59 again through here. I could take the 90 down the 25. Yeah, but then you're going to hit the 25 here later on anyway. So we'll take their route recommendation. You know, it's okay. I mean, I like the 25 parts. Of course, you know, more lanes on more highway. But I mean, not everything can be a thing.
Turn left.
That is so mean, Noko. So mean. I hope you're doing good, ma'am. I hope you're doing good.
Right.
As expected. It is expected. Let me tell you. I hope you're doing well on this Saturday evening, as this is the last day here in North America land that we are going to be on the daylight savings time hours. I believe the time changes tonight, and of course, when the time change does happen, of course, from then on out, we're on the standard time hours, and everybody's back on all the things. So yeah, that's just the way it is, people. That's just the way it is. Keep right. GPS lady, you are so 3 minutes behind schedule. It's a good thing I know where I'm going, because you would have me like turning into a farmer's field already. Yeah, so time change ever since, what is it? What's it been now? It got to be almost, 10, 15 years now since that's been done, is when the U.S. changed it to have longer daylight savings changes. So there's, it's, 3 weeks later in the fall and 1 week earlier in the summertime, I think it is. It's one way or the other. I know it's 3 weeks on one side and 1 week on the other side. And, yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. But we'll be back on the standard time zone here after this evening, I believe. That is going to happen tonight at around 2 a.m., I believe, is the time they pick, and all the things, you know it. And then, of course, you go through the torture of readjusting your body to your internal clock and blah, blah, blah. I'd rather just keep daylight savings time. I mean, daylight savings time is way better. It's just so much better. I'll tell you right now. I don't care if it's dark at 7:30 in the morning. I am perfectly fine with that. I do like having more light in the evening. But see, now what's going to happen is the time change is going to happen, and it's fine. It'll be light out at 7 in the morning, but it'll be dark here. Like in another month, it'll be dark here by like 10 to 4. Like it'd be 3:30, 3:30, 3:45 in the afternoon, and it will be dark, and it'll be like, ugh, okay, I guess it's dark now. I'll just live the next 8 hours in the dark. That's fine, but anyway, it is what it is. Welcome to Canuckland. At least I'm not too far north where they actually have no sun at all for the winter time. Which is really weird, right? Because in the height of summer, they have sun for 24 hours straight. And in the wintertime, they have darkness for 24 hours straight. So, it makes it really, that would be really difficult on my body. Just not going to happen. So, obviously, the last 3-4 streams, it's been some time since the last ATS stream, hasn't it? It's been about, 3 weeks? 3 weeks to almost a month. And that's just because of wrapping up other games and stuff like that. ATS, well, I had to do this on Saturday, but Sunday is all about if I have a little extra spot, like to sneak in a video. And, of course, we were very busy with the Captain and Railgrade. Of course, so I had to try and fit slots in there for both of those games to kind of get them wrapped up. At the same time, now that the Captain is wrapped up, and with the delay of Zion, what are we doing here? Are we going left? Yes, we are. With the delay of Zion for about 3 weeks, this gave me a little opportunity to get ATS. But then, of course, when they announced it this morning that Texas is coming out here in about 9 days, boom. Well, we're going to be playing that. It's IXION, right? Yeah, well, I would expect it to spell it Zion, Z-I-O-N, but the game is called IXION, which to me is very similar to Zion, just spelled differently. But no one ever says what the actual word is, so I have to assume it's Zion, just spelled weird,
and then turn
right? It's basically a space-based Frostpunk game. So obviously, if you've known about Frostpunk, Frostpunk is like a city building simulator, but this one is set in space, and of course you're taking the mega ship. I've been really looking forward to this game. It looks really good, and I'm looking forward to playing it. So it's Frostpunk in space, is what it is. But it's got a lot more, because obviously it's in space. It's got a lot more, what would you say? A lot more extra variable, like a lot more exploratory variables in it, right? Because you're not just stuck to on a map with certain locations in the frozen wasteland. We have a spaceship and we have the ability to go to different parts of the galaxy and stuff. So it's pretty crazy. Now I don't know how open it is or anything like that. Again, that's all going to be part of the adventure, and I'm really looking forward to that game. I'm really looking to have a good time. I wasn't really interested in the Frostpunk genre, that type of genre game build style, but Zion really has kind of convinced me to give it a try. And of course, I do have my stop. Yep, my bad. I was talking. Yep. Just pretend I didn't do that. Turn right. I was just ignoring her anyway. She talks too much. So, in any case, I don't usually do the whole Frostpunky type genre, but like I said, Zion kind of convinced me to do it, and we're gonna see how it goes anyway. But it does look really cool. And the demo is, I do have the demo on the channel. So I did play the demo of it, and it is on the channel. It's been some months. That was probably several months ago that I did the demo. But I did play the demo, which is like the first hour of the game. We're gonna have to do that all again, right? You know how it is. So we're gonna have to play. We're gonna have to do the Dolos, storyline and set up the initial housing and the base and blah 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 and all the things. So, yeah, that's all gonna happen, people. That is all gonna happen. That's for sure. Another thing I wanted to note was not only so we got that coming up. That was probably before you were here. It might have been. It was part of one of my summer. I was pretty sure it was one of my summer games that I had played. So yeah, it probably was before you were here. But I mean, the demo is on the channel. It's not hard to find. It's either in the 2021 or 2022 summer playlist. Probably in the 2021 playlist because I played it. I played that demo pretty early, and that game has been under development for the last year and so I didn't expect it to come out right away. It was always in my back pocket, but then they announced it for a November release, but then they delayed it by 4 weeks, so it's a December 7th release now, and we're just waiting for December 7th. But I mean, this means so Railgrade. I have to deal with Railgrade for the rest of this month. Texas will come out in here in about 10 days. So obviously, the minute it comes out, it'll be on the channel. I think it comes out Tuesday, November 15th. So I will be running a stream that afternoon. As soon as the game drops, I'll install it. We're going to run a couple big loads right into Texas. You know it. Because, I mean, that Texas is, it's the largest state. So, they've got 29 cities, 29 of them, right? And just like with the last state with Montana, we're going to do all 29 cities. Now, I'm not going to do them all one day, but we'll do we're not going to do all 29 of them, but at the same time, we'll do them, right? And just like that, we do the cities part on tour, and then I kind of bring back highlights of like different achievements I'm getting. So, like with this today, like with the Halloween event achievement, right? So we're gonna get this final load in and do all the things, and I'm gonna make what looks like a left-hand turn up here shortly.
Turn left.
Yeah, get ready to turn left. Well, there was passing lines back there. I'm allowed to pass you. Sorry to tell you, buddy. Yeah, we're gonna turn left. There we go. And here we go. Turn left. Look at that. Didn't miss it this time. It's all good in the neighborhood. Yeah, I don't know why I missed that last turn, but anyway. Halloween treats. Candy. We're transporting candy. You betcha. We've got candy. Do. We got all the candy. Yeah, we got candy. Candy in the Halloween treats zone. You know it. Let's see if we can get an 8 out of this. We're going to get a decent 8? You're going to give me a decent 8? Not really, are you? 2-lane roads. It's really hard to get a decent 8 out of them, right? Let's go for a 6, I guess. It's all right. We'll go back for 2 for now while we get around the turns, right? It's a little bit of a windy road. The one thing about these more narrow roads, getting a good 8 shot is kind of hard to do. All right, so we'll get around here. Yeah, can I deliver them to your address, please? I don't believe they have a ferry service going across the Atlantic yet, so I'm afraid you will have to make your way to your own local store to just buy some. It's just the way it is. It's there's not much I can do about that. So I did want to mention that the last couple of times, like usually at the end of the stream, I will type in like a goodbye message to everybody, and so the last 3-4 streams, of course, every time I've done it, like the caps lock key has been turned on, which has been very funny. I know. Of course, that is because my left hand does not work very well, and longtime viewers of the channel already know this, dude. Really? You're going to slow me down on this light, are you? All right, that's fine. I was going to make this nice wide turn. It was going to be good. Can we have a green light? Can I have a green light? Can somebody give me a green light, man? Really? Well, I mean, dude, I will wait here for a green light all day. All right. Okay, it looks like the left turn light has come on. Yeah, you're always screaming at us in text form. Yeah, well, that's because my left hand doesn't work very well. Like when I'm playing railgrade and stuff like that, right? Of course, you have to use like a lot of games, right? WASD, right, to move around and stuff. But you got to remember, my left hand doesn't work very well, so it loves hitting extra buttons like caps lock and the tab key and a lot of stuff. Now, some games it's a real big hassle, especially like in fast paced games. That's why I don't play shooter games because I can't maneuver them very well. Um,
Keep left.
but in a lot of games, it's not usually an issue. It's just that like sometimes I accidentally hit the caps lock key, and then I don't think to check it because I just don't think of it, and then you realize, oh wait a minute, look, the caps lock key's on again. So just to let everybody know, for those who are newer to the channel that don't know that my left hand. I mean, I have a left hand. And it looks nice, right? It's a real left hand. It's I'm very fortunate that way. I was very lucky that way. But but due to the nerve damage and stuff in it, it doesn't function very well. And of course, it kind of goes to it just kind of does weird things sometimes. And sometimes we've had a few streams where I'll be doing something and then my left hand just does whatever it wants, and that's always entertainment. But not usually, because of course in any game there's usually consequences to that, and I usually end up dead or something, right? So I mean, it is what it is.
And then exit right.
All right, so we're keeping right and we're exiting right, are we? All right. Well, you know what? I'm gonna pull over here into this truck stop for a second, just so we can have a look at the map and see where it is you're trying to drive me off to. Because I was really happy about being on that highway, and I'm gonna sneeze here, so just hold on a second.
Turn right.
All right, avoided the sneeze, but it's gonna. I can see this is gonna be one of them things I'm gonna have to deal with for the next few minutes. Sneezing. So let's see where we are on the map. I'm going really slow here. I can probably bring up the map, no problem. Let's do this. So you're in Gillette. Oh, okay, yeah, because I was going to say we just got the drive on the 90, and it was really awesome. But you're not going to kick me off the 90 again. Well, that's very mean of you. We're back onto the 2-lane roads. All right, that's fine. All right. Yeah, well, I mean, it happens to everybody, right? It is what it is. Holding the sneeze in, I think, is the worst feeling ever. Well, I'm not trying to hold it in. That's why I mute the mic for a second. I'm actually not trying to hold it in, but at the same time, you know how it is. Like you're about to sneeze, and then you're thinking, okay, I'll sneeze, and then you do something. And then the sneeze doesn't happen anymore, and it's like, oh, really? I would really like the sneeze to happen now. And then it's like, whatever, right? Whoop-de-ding-do. So anyway, I can see the next 20 minutes this thing's going to be fighting me all the time, right? It is what it is. But yeah, I'm looking forward, definitely looking forward to Zion, a couple of things. Hopefully,
Straight on.
there's a question mark back there? What are we question marking? I didn't even see what the question mark was. Wonder what that is. Was it like a look off? Anyway, I'll have to come back to it, I guess. So we'll just make our way down here. Yeah, looking forward to Zion. Looking forward to Texas coming out next week. So that means the schedule's pretty booked up all the way to the holidays. So, of course, we'll have Railgrade for the rest of this month. This will start in the middle of the month. Railgrade will probably end at the end of the month, and then Zion will take its place in the roster. And, of course, that will probably carry us into Christmas between Zion, a little bit of this. Of course, we have Icarus Monday. Of course, we'll talk more about Icarus towards the end of the stream here, because, of course, it'll be another knife challenge. You know it. I've got another map picked out.
Keep right.
Something with crocodiles and bears and a bunch of crazy other animals that are all going to try to eat me. It's like, oh, was it a truck garage? Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess usually truck garages though are like have a house on them, even when you don't own them, right? So like see this one? See, I don't own this one here in Gillette, but it's got a house, right? So usually this stuff is usually like a hiring agency, or it can be a hiring agency, I would say by the bed and the wrench there, this was probably a truck dealership. It was probably like one of the new truck dealerships, and that's how I missed that. If it was a rest area / video area, it would probably be all alone. It's probably fine. It was a building with a lot of trucks around it. Yeah, so it was a truck dealership. Yeah, so that's fine. I don't need to buy any new trucks right now. Anyway, I got way too many trucks. I got a lot of drivers. I got a bucket load of drivers, and and after a while, you just kind of don't. That part of the game kind of just gets set aside. Now, when you're first starting the game, obviously you've got to, you got to earn some money to get your first truck, get your first garage up and running, and then get your first drivers hired, right? And because you really want that money coming in, right? You want to be able to take the jobs you want. You don't want to be able to. You don't have to, take any job because you're short for cash. So, when you're first starting the game, you're buying new garages, you're buying more trucks, you're hiring more drivers, right? And they're making you money. But I mean, I'm level like 186 or something like that. Crazy, right? And I'm not even, and like I said, in the last year and a half, I haven't really played the game that hard. Yes, there's a nice 8. Yeah, give us some nice 8s. Oh, you're going to kick me out. Okay, well, that's fine. Give me a 6 then. All right. You do what you got to do to make that monies. But once you get making so much monies, you want to be able to take the loads and drive the way you want to drive and all the things, right? Let's do a 7. There we go. It is what it is. After a while, it's like, I don't need to buy any more garages. I mean, there's all kinds of garages I could still buy, right? And I just don't. I just haven't bought them. Because after a while, that part of the game, I don't say it gets tiring, but that part of the game just becomes less necessary. How about you go back to this dude, because you're all over the road. There we go. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it's awesome, but this is a 2-lane road, dude, and you're you're messing around with different camera angles that you know better that you shouldn't be messing around with on the sharp turns, right? So there we go. Yeah. So then after a while, I just literally take the loads I want to take. I mean, sometimes I'll take a trailer and I'll just drive. Not even an official load in the game. You just kind of do stuff sometimes, and it's kind of fun and relaxing that way. Okay, we'll just slow down here. Because all those trucks you drive have a weird form. What are you talking about? They have a weird form. You mean all these conventional trucks? Oh, weird shape. Yeah, so I knew what you meant. Yeah, so these are conventional trucks. Obviously, you guys over in Europe, conventional trucks are pretty rare, right? You guys drive all mostly cab over trucks, which actually I like. I like cab over trucks. Base, what's going on? I hope you're doing well. This is an American Truck Simulator, it's all about conventional. I do have my favorite truck that I drive in this game though is a cab over. The Freightliner Argosy cab over. But yeah, in North America, a lot of trucks are conventional trucks, and that's because the distances are longer. So a lot of guys are in their trucks for a lot longer periods of time, and and because you're doing engine work and stuff like that on the road a lot, having a conventional truck like this where you can work on the engine yet still live in the cab is very important, right? Whereas in Europe, drivers, though they'll drive fair long distances, and not to say they don't stay in their cabs, it's not usually for weeks at a time, right? And at the same time, a lot of them trucks are more around company trucks. So, if something happens to the truck, they pull that one out, they put you in another truck, and you go off and drive that temporarily while they fix that truck. Whereas a lot of trucks in North America are owner operators. In other words, I buy the truck and then I let companies hire me. So, again, you're kind of in the truck all the time, right? Yeah, ATS and ETS2 all have all virtual VR modes, as far as I understand. Yep. I don't have a VR headset, and really, though I'm sure it would be cool and awesome. I don't think I can get you guys to have that experience. I don't think they've come up with a way on YouTube to push the VR experience into your head through my head. So, it kind of doesn't work so well. Go to 4. Yeah, let's go on the roof rack here. We're on top of the roof rack. There you go. Look at that. That's pretty crazy. I played Euro Truck in VR and with a steering wheel once. I'm a pretty scary driver. Well, I'm very fortunate. Like I said, my father has been a truck driver for over half a century, for 54 years. So, he knows truck driving, right? And I have seen a lot of... I have been very fortunate to see a lot of the country, a lot of North America, really, in the cab of a truck, right? A lot of... yes, today it is more common for people to travel by plane to different locations. But really, until about 25 years ago, it was pretty rare for a lot of kids to travel more than 40, 50, 60 miles away from their house, right? And I was one of those kids that had seen all kinds of locations by the time I was a teenager. I was very fortunate that way. All behind the wheel of a truck, because we didn't have a lot of money, but being a truck driver's kid, you could, you still went all kinds of places, right? Well, backing up any hinge type vehicle is always a challenge, right? So if you're backing up any car with a trailer or, a truck or anything with a hinge is always going to be tricky, right? Because you always got to remember the opposite turn effect, right? That's just the way it is. It is what it is. We're going to get a nice 8 here. I would really like it if you guys gave me a nice 8 today. Man, you guys are being really cheap with the 8. There you go. Give me a nice 8. That's what I'm talking about. Gee whiz. There we are, and there's an 8. None of this cheap 8 stuff. Holy smokes. Pulling teeth here. You gonna turn the lights on? Yep. Because it is about 6 o'clock. It's not going to get dark yet, but it will get dark soon. Now, what we're going to do is, I won't drive in the dark. What we're going to do is we'll pull into a truck stop once it's too dark. Here's a big difference between ETS2 and ATS. ETS2 in the darkness is not nearly as dark as ATS. Like you can play ETS2 and at 2 in the morning, you can still see the landscape. It's dark out, quote unquote dark, but it's not black, right? In ATS, you can't see squat. It is really bad. You can't see a sign 10 feet away from the road. It's really, they didn't do that part of the game very good in ATS, and I don't know why. So unfortunately, driving in the dark on a stream is really boring. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make a slight change to that. We'll find a truck stop when it gets dark enough, and then what we'll do is I will use the gset time command to increase the time to the next morning. Only because the internal sleep stuff. I wish there was and all these games do the same thing. They all have the clock set for 8 hours, right? But that's not real life. If I stop at 10 o'clock at night and want to get up at 4 in the morning, I should be able to tell the clock how many hours I want to sleep in the game, but they just make you sleep 8 hours. So half the time you end up driving in the dark anyway. It's kind of crazy. You have better highway lighting in Europe. Yes, I will agree to that to a certain extent. That being said, though, I just think it's an in-game thing. I think because ETS2 is... Now, actually, it's funny because ETS2 and ATS are all kind of pushed towards more European players, not as much North American players, but North America is coming along finally after after half a decade. I am keeping left. Why are you talking to me, GPS lady? I'm fine. Don't worry about it. Listen. So it is what it is. I just find that in ATS it's dark, and I think it's just the player base that plays ETS2 didn't like it as dark, and I agree with them. I like when I play ETS2, like I have no problem driving all night long. Because it's still not. It's not black, like it's not total darkness, and you can actually see stuff on the screen still, right? But you can't. But in ATS, it's kind of junky, right? It's not the same, which is really kind of a bummer, because things, right? Realistics, right? What do we got here for a different number? Oh, there's a number I don't use very often. And no wonder. I couldn't drive like this. You know what this feels like? I feel like I'm playing GTA 3. All right? I don't know if anybody's ever played GTA 3, but that is exactly what GTA 3 looks like. Grand Theft Auto 3, that's how you play it. You play it top down. It's kind of... Okay, now I'm just showing my age too much. Let's go to a 5. Let's go to 6 because this road's about to peel over here. Yeah, and we don't want to drive off the road. I really got to try and get a nice straight stretch for a 5. We should really do that. Here's a nice straight stretch coming up. We'll get a 5 out of this. Yeah, do that there for a second, dude. You're good to go, right? Yeah, there we go. There's a nice 5. As we're hauling down the highway, got our candy goods on. You betcha. All good in the neighborhoods. There's a bumper 6 for you. Again, you gotta like this nice part stretch of the highway. Riding down the highway, you betcha. Colorado, here we come. Yep, but we're not there yet. No, we got a ways to go. Driving on a highway in Belgium at nighttime will melt your eyes. So I have been. I have been to Europe. Turns out. So I have seen Belgium at night, and I don't know if it's eye melting. That being said, it is more lit up. It's definitely more lit up. But that is just. I think that is just in part due to population density. The population density of Europe overall as a whole is just there's just more people in a smaller space. Whereas here in North America there is lots of open space like between cities still that just our highway, right? Again, it comes back to the whole design of trucks and stuff, right? Conventional trucks versus cab overs. The distances are just farther here, right? There's just more distance, more driving between the locations. So, that's just the way it is. And because of that, it's darker on the highway between the cities, right? Because there's just nothing. Now, I actually enjoy the drives. So, it's all good. I love driving. It's too bad my IBS is been giving me so many problems over the last couple of years. Because I love driving. I mean, I don't fly anywhere. Now, obviously, if I were to go to Europe, I would have to fly. But, I used to drive to Florida a fair amount of the time. Never flew to Florida. I always drove to Florida. 2,004 miles from my place to Disney World. So, that's a lot of miles, or 3,200 kilometers one way, right? That's a drive, right? That's, when you're driving 3,200 kilometers, that's a bit of a drive, right? So I love driving. I think people who play like these types of games, they too like driving. They find it very relaxing, right? Nope. My SUV is my SUV. Now it's not a Humvee or anything. It's not a super gas guzzler or anything. But it's I have an SUV. I have a convertible. So I have my SUV and I have my convertible. And of course, the convertible I drive mostly in the summertime, and the SUV I drive more in the wintertime, just because of things. Now, it's not that electric cars don't interest me. If I was to buy something like that, I would want a hybrid car. I'd want a gasoline slash electric car, and that's because obviously the extreme cold temperatures that we can get here in the wintertime runs down the batteries a lot faster. And so obviously having now, I mean, don't get me wrong, we see Teslas here all the time, right? As they've become popular over the last several years. But I still think it's still like I still see a lot of hybrid cars here, and that's just because it's safer here. Like you don't want to be in an electric car and going any kind of road trip here in Canada in the wintertime. That car decides it's going to run out of energy, and it's minus 15 degrees outside, and you've got another 70 miles to go before there's another electric pump. That is not what you want. You want to have a hybrid car that you can switch over to the small or to the small gas engine if the batteries are running low, and then you would be able to get to your destination or whatever, right? So I wouldn't mind doing a hybrid car. I would really love to have a hydrogen car. If you really want to know, I'm all about that hydrogen. That's what I was hoping they would go with. I know Toyota's got a big push on for hydrogen cars now. So we'll see what happens with that. But I'm all about that hydrogen cars. Hydrogen cars, I mean, are awesome, right? No mini for me, dude. I'm 6.5 feet tall. All right, I don't do mini. I don't do minis. That's very entertaining, but no minis for me, man. No minis. I'm way too tall for a mini. Now, again, the Mini Coopers are a nice looking car. I will say they are a nice looking car, but I must also admit I don't even come close to fitting in one. You know what? I got my own garage here. I think we're going to do this for the sleeps. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, we're going to do the sleep here. I got my own garage here, which means cheap gas. And turns out we do need gas. So we're going to take this next exit. We'll take the truck in and all the things. Are we going to get a nice nighttime shot? Come on, give me a nice nighttime shot. No, you're not going to give that to me, huh? All right, well, yeah, that wasn't too bad. I'll take it. So, yeah, we'll pull in here. So, yeah, I mean, I do like the looks of Mini Coopers. The old style and the new style. Mini Coopers are really cool. That being said, I am way too big for a Mini Cooper. I will not fit into a Mini Cooper very well. Let's just say with my height, it's a bit of a challenge to find a vehicle that I am very comfortable in. So, I have a Sebring convertible, and I have a Journey SUV. Both are fairly, I don't want to say they're not like huge cars, but they're not small cars either, right? So, it is what it is. All right, we're gonna take this exit, get ourselves in here to my garage. Because how convenient! I got a garage here just off the highway. I mean, that's kind of a good deal, actually. Oh yeah, there we go. Nice. Not yet, dear. We're gonna make a small pit stop here at my truck truck garage, if you don't mind. I'm sure GPS lady's gonna lose her mind here in about 33 seconds. But that's all right. We'll make this work. We'll make it work. Hey, besides, cheap gas, right? Cheap gas, gotta like it. Well, okay, I say that, but no gas is cheap anymore, right? Diesel is just everything is expensive now. Diesel's expensive. It's all expensive. I know you want me to turn around, GPS lady, but that's not going to happen yet. So just give that up already, would you? All right. As it's getting darker and darker in here, there's the garage. Look at that. Nice. Did you just tell me to turn right, GPS lady? What are you talking about? I'm ignoring you. All right, there we go. Get around there. Oh, yeah, look at the skill. Look at the skill. Just ignore that accent we had at the beginning of the stream. Just look at the skill, people. Just look at it. All right, let's fill up with a little gas, and we'll back the truck up, do a few things, and then we'll set the time up so as we can have the daylight back. All the stuffs and the things. There we go. Yeah, so see, I'm saving almost $1. I'm saving $1.20 actually in fuel cost by having it at my own garage, right? Because these gas stations at the moment, they're charging like $5.24 a gallon for diesel. That's pretty crazy, you know. Now, if somebody wants to do the calculation on that, 1 gallon is 3.8 liters. So you'd have to do a little math on that. Maybe don't drive over red lights for less accidents. Dude, that was not where we had the accident. Well, okay, I did have a minor bump with one car. But we'll ignore that too. Listen, I just missed that right-hand turn. It was the right-hand turn I missed. Everything was fine. So we're gonna stop here, and we're gonna do this, and G _ set _ time equals 5 a.m. Yeah, let's go for 5 a.m. There we go. Done. So it is now next morning. Now it's still dark out, but now the sun's actually coming up instead of coming down, right? So now we can actually move on and do that. If I had the sleep turned on, I would have to do a sleep here anyway. So actually, this is one of the few times you're actually seeing me play more accurate to the game than I usually do. Because usually I just ignore sleep altogether and the time altogether. Oh, look at that car. He was yeah, whatever, dude. Two of yous, get out of my way. So I'm actually being a little more accurate than I usually would be. So that's pretty scary actually. And we'll put this thing back on the highway. But yeah, see now, here within the next hour, the sky will become lighter and it's going to be great.
Get ready to turn left.
And it's nice because we're in the town, so like there's street lights and stuff here. So by the time they figure it out, listen, dude, you could have went. I don't know why did he stop all of a sudden? Like he stopped for no reason.
Right.
Whatever.
And then turn right.
Well, of course I'm gonna turn right. What do you think I'm doing?
Turn right.
Okay, well, just a second. Okay, let's get this thing back out on the highway. You know it. All good in the neighborhood. So we're about I want to say we're not quite 2/3 of the way there, but we're over halfway there. So we're making decent time.
Keep left and then exit left.
You betcha. We'll keep left and then exit left. Okay, all the things. Sanchez! What's going on, big guy? Give me a few seconds here. I got to get around these crazy turns, and then I'll have a look to see what you say. Yo, Trucker Max, what's up? I'm good. I'm good, man. It's all good in the neighborhoods. And as we make our way out of Collins, and back onto the highway. Look at that. We got the sun coming up behind us. Looks good. Looks really good, doesn't it? Let's see if we can get a little bit of back action happening here. Yeah, look at that. Right here. Let's get rid of the mirrors here. No. I want to get rid of the mirrors. Boop boop. Here, we'll swing back around this way for a second. Yeah, there we go. We got a little bit of city back action going on. Right on. Nice. As the sun's coming up, you're going around this turn, dude. Yeah, driving while pointed backwards is not easy. I just want to point that out. Why don't you turn the truck around? Yeah, drive this way for a minute. Get around all these crazy turns. Am I playing? No, I'm not playing this in VR. One, I don't have a VR headset. Two, even if I was playing it in VR, you wouldn't see it in VR. So, that doesn't really make much sense. But no, I am not playing it in VR. Because this game, because ATS and ETS2 are really nice in VR. I must admit, again, a lot of people play this game for the relaxation of it. The relaxation, and now I don't want to say realistics of it, because, it is 1/25th scale. So it's, distance and everything is not overly realistic. And because of that limitation, some of the roads aren't realistic either. But it is a really nice driving game. It's just really nice driving game to have, So yeah, we're just making our way down here. We got the sun coming up. The sun comes up in the morning. You're going to drive off the road. Don't do that, Max. Yeah. In fact, we've got a whole bunch of traffic slowing me down here. I don't know what's going on here all of a sudden, but you're all, like, really upsetting me. No. We're not going to have this discussion. Like, that was real dirty of you, dude. Did you see that cop car, what he did? Oh, yeah, now it's going to get messy. Now, see, that was the cop car's fault, I'm going to say. So, that cop car slowed way down, and I went to go around him, and then he sped up all of a sudden, so I pulled him back behind him. And then as soon as I pulled back in behind him, what did he do? Slam on the brakes. Well, you know what? Brake checkers, they deserve that. I got no problem with that. So you want to brake check me? Guess what? I'm going to shove you into next week. Nothing worse than brake checkers. You ran into a cop. It's technicality, right? He actually ran into me because, brake checking is against the law. So he shouldn't have done that, right? He, now don't get me wrong. I will say ATS and ETS2 are really good. And I will say their AI is better than most, but it's not perfect, all right? The AI still does really dumb things from time to time, and that's why I have no problem. I have zero issue with accidentally, knocking you off the road. I got no problem with that. Because sometimes the AI does really dumb things, like that guy did, right? Like, look at this guy. See, I'm passing him, then all of a sudden he's like, no, you know what? I think I'm not going to let you pass me. Now, yes, that happens in real life too, but you know what's going to happen? Well, you're either going to slow down or you're going to run into the back of this truck because I'm going to put you there, right? Anyway, the AI sometimes really does really weird things. Oh, you can have all the penalties in the game. I just got them turned off. That's right. Oh yeah, they got penalties in the game, right? Like hitting that cop. That'd be a $1,000 fine, right? But I have that turned off. I'm not putting up with that crap. You know what? I got real life to deal with, people. Real life is real life things, and I don't play games for over real life. Now, don't get me wrong. It's not like I'm driving across the grass or anything, okay? It's not like I'm driving along and knocking down every sign or anything like that. At the same time, some parts of real life are yucky and dumb, and I have no problem just turning them off. So, hey, you know what? Tickets, not a thing. If I want to drive 85 miles an hour, okay, I can do that. Now, yes, you can do that, but keep in mind, I do keep the realistic physics on. So if I'm driving 95 miles an hour down the road and I try and take a turn, I will tip the truck over, right? Because that's realistic, right? I just turn the fines off because, again, it's annoying. Some parts of the game are just annoying that way. Yes. Now, I will say, though, brake checking is against the law. You can't brake check somebody. So, not to say, that you can't slow down to encourage people to back off, but you can't suddenly slam on the brakes like that. Unless it was a true emergency, and then you could. But you can't brake check. That's against the law, right? So, I cannot with this load. This load is a regulation load, and regulation loads are restricted to 65 miles an hour, or, just around 110 kilometers an hour. I would still get arrested. Oh yeah, I'm going to definitely get arrested. So, that's definitely happening. Even with the brake checking. Like I said, brake checking, that would have to play out, that there would have to be you'd have to play some of that out, right? That's for sure. It is what it is. Now, that being said, running into vehicles in general is bad, and you would and that would be considered a hit and run if it was just a normal day, and you would be arrested for it and charged inappropriate as required. it's a thing. So, yes, it is what it is. Just suck it up, people. Sometimes, you just want to play the game and have a little fun. Oh, that was a nice 8. I must admit, that was a really good 8. It's not easy to get good 8s anymore. It's giving me all kinds of different 8 views on this one. It's being a little bit quirky, actually. There was all kinds of different camera angles happening there. Yep, do that. So like this scale, right? I should be pulling into that scale? No, we're not doing that. And again, for those who play the game as accurately as possible, that's cool. That's the way they want to play it. And for those who also play the game as loose as possible, I'm also all about that. I am perfectly fine with that, right? People should play the games that they play the way they want to play them, right? So if you want to install a bunch of cheat mods, if that makes you happy, then play the game that way. And if you want to play the game in vanilla mode, I think you should also play the game that way, right? It's a game, right? At the end of the day, it's a piece of entertainment for you. So you should be entertained. And if it's not entertaining you, well, then why are you engaged with it? You're just kind of wasting your time. Do stuff that makes you happy, right? Don't play a game because you can only I like the game, but I really hate all this stuff. And that's why mods exist, right? That's why all this stuff exists. You play the game you way want to play it. Now, I always recommend that a person plays the game in its default state first. But that's another thing. So, like, for example, I have very few mods installed in this game. Very, very few. And, yes, I do have my custom truck, my custom Argo C truck. Yes, I do have my custom wheels because they're awesome. Look at them wheels. They're awesome. I do have my custom wheels. And I have my no damage mod installed. But that's about it. I don't have a lot of other mods installed, and that's because I'm fine with that. Some people play with like 50 mods, and they've got realistic scenery and all this other stuff. I think the scenery looks really good in the game as it is, but there are some scenery packs out there and stuff like that take it to a whole other level, and they go all crazy. And if that's the way they want to play it, then play it that way, right? Well, okay, so if you're not doing a regulated load or an external, what they call an external contract load, if you're just playing the freight market loads, you can drive as fast as you want. Well, it's as fast as the truck will go, right? Most trucks won't go more than, I think the fastest truck I've ever had was 101 miles an hour, which is about 162 kilometers an hour, right? Trucks, again, yes, you can get mods that will allow your truck to go even faster, but again, that's not what I'm looking for, right? I have no problem driving the truck in its realistic form. I know that the AI stinks. The AI is really bad sometimes, and it makes stupid decisions, so I don't like taking penalties for that, and that's why I don't care about the damage. And yes, if I want to drive the truck 80 miles an hour, I don't want the beeper going off every 3 minutes saying, oh, here's a ticket, here's a ticket, here's a ticket. You know what? I don't care about the tickets. So yes, I turn the fines off, and yes, I have a damage mod in there because AI is dumb, and that's just the way it is. But again, that's the way I like to play it. If you want to put a mod in and drive this truck until it flies right off a cliff, and I've seen videos out there of that happening. There's all kinds of crazy videos out there of like people installing like super speed mods and driving the truck at 200 miles an hour and then watching it fly over mountains and stuff like that. You can do that, and if it makes you happy, that's what matters at the end of the day, right? It's all about what matters at the end of the day. It is 8 o'clock, 8:30 in the morning. There's a little bit of we got a bit of a turn coming up here. This is a bit of a nice shot, though. The turn's turning right, so we probably going to do it this way. Yeah, there we go. Look at that. Yeah, it's not too bad. I should turn the mirrors back on, just so as I know what's going on behind me. I am looking behind me at the moment. That's kind of a weird thing. Let's do that. Let's see if we can. No, come on. You're going to give me a good camera. No, you're not. There it is. There's the camera angle I was looking for. There we go. Nice. No. Okay, yeah, we'll go with 7 for a minute. We'll do a 7 for a minute. The old TransStar Eagle. The Eagle, that's all looking really good. The International Eagle. The good old days. Definitely the good old days. All right. We're rolling down the highway. 18 wheels are rolling. You know it. Let's see. It says I'm going to get there at 2:28 in the afternoon. Really? Is that a thing? I don't know if I'll get there at 2. Are you going to pass me, dude? No, you're not. I'm not going to let you pass me. Not on that lane, anyway. I'll pull over. You can pass me on the outside if you want. You're not going to pass me on the inside. No, that's not happening. Let's see. So, why are there spikes on the tire caps? Because it's cool. That's the answer. Because it looks cool. Yeah. Right? Again, I don't have a lot of mods installed, but I do have cool spike caps on the wheel nuts. Yeah. I am also using now. This is a DLC that they have in the game, right? So I also have the rear wheel fans as part of their DLC. That's actually that's a DLC. Whoa! What are you talking about? What? We're leaving the highway. Why are we leaving the highway? I don't want to leave the highway. Why are we leaving? What are you doing? Oh, we got to. Okay, yeah, all right. We got to leave the highway. Highway 84. Okay, so we're gonna do Highway 84, and then we got to do this little rinky-dink maneuver here. That's always a crazy highway. And then then the 54, the 285, and then we'll be in the Roswell. Okay, well that's cool. Yeah, all right. I guess it's time for some 2-lane driving. Yep, spikes on the caps because it looks awesome. It's just the way it is. All right. Yeah, the truck looks pretty good. The truck's looking pretty good. Yeah, I mean, look at that. Yeah, all that engine power. You betcha. Let's go. They look like tires out of Mad Max. And you should see some of the trucks out here, man. In real life, man, so you should see some of the trucks. Like, they literally do look like they're out of Mad Max. Okay, this sun truck, we're passing this guy because he will drive this highway so slow. Yeah, that's not gonna happen, dude. You can just forget it. You can stay behind me. Yeah, you just go back there, dudes. Go back there because this highway's already gonna be a bit slow, and I am not having you in front of me. We'll just do it that way. So yeah, all the way up to the Christmas season. Zion, of course, is going to be happening. This will, of course, be happening. And, of course, Icarus Monday, going to be happening. All the things. I did notice, I noticed Chi had mentioned another game in the Discord server. And I looked at it. I just don't know where I would put it into the schedule at the moment. And it turns out that Nilos is playing the game anyway. And so it's like, okay, well, I tend not to say is I don't play popular games, right? Because I mean, you know, I'll play whatever game I want to play. Right? It's my channel, so I'll play the games I want. That being said, I tend to try sometimes to stick to lesser known games because I know them big popular channels won't play them, right? Like, there's not a lot of channels out there that played The Captain, right? I love that game. I think The Captain is fun and gives you the giggles sometimes, and you know, the 80s jokes are really awesome. And not a lot of channels play that game, and that's why I'll play that game because, you know, a lot of them big channels don't play it. Now, yes, I do know there's another there's a big channel out there playing Railgrade at the moment, but it turns out they kind of stopped playing it, which is why I continue to play Railgrade because, well, one, it's a train game. I was going to play it anyway, but two, they kind of stopped playing it, and I'm enjoying the game so much that I wasn't going to stop playing it anyway. But it is just what it is, right? It does and it doesn't, right? It all depends on the game. Like, everybody's got their own niche, right? Like, you know, like, okay, there are some questionable um, PG 13 plus games on Steam that some
and
people
then
play,
exit right.
right? Now, not a lot of people play them, and playing them on YouTube is almost impossible. That being said, you know, there are some pretty big channels out there of game. Like, now you have to do heavy editing and stuff, and I'm going to get off this topic in about 10 seconds. That being said, you can still have a decent viewership of lesser known
right,
games.
And then turn right.
Yes, it's fine that I'll play I've got way too many hours in Satisfactory, right? You know, what is it? 3,300 hours. I got all kinds of hours in Satisfactory. And yes, you know, there's a couple of really big channels out there, right? So like Kibitz is out there, a couple other. But I'm going to play Satisfactory if I want to play Satisfactory because I like factory games. That's what I do, right? So, I mean, you know, I just haven't been, and I'll talk about Satisfactory here in a minute. I'm always going to play the games I want to play. At the same time, I have no problem showcasing smaller games because, one, there isn't many channels out there to support them. Two, there may not be a big audience, but some of these games become cult hits. And, like, you know, and the thing is, you know, if you were one of these channels that did one of these games, you may gain a lot of followers over time just by playing some of these smaller known games, right? And yeah, I mean, it's me. I'm an entertaining guy, you know, as I got the hiccups now, which is great, just what I need now. But let's talk about Satisfactory. So I haven't played Satisfactory in a while. That is on purpose. I played, you know, 3,300 hours of Satisfactory, and I basically burnt myself out. I burnt myself out on Satisfactory. I mean, I got a bad addiction for that game, and so when I burnt myself out, I have left that game alone. I did try to play it there last year for a bit, and not to say we couldn't continue that map and pick up where I left off. It's just I was still too burnt out with it, right? It still wasn't the right time. That's why I haven't done an update 5. I didn't do an update 6, and I didn't, and I won't be doing the update 7 they've got coming out here at the end of the month. I am waiting. There's a new viewpoint. What? Where's the viewpoint? Oh, it's right across the road. Well, I'm gonna go see it then. You guys gonna wait for me? Really? Is that what you're going to do? All right, fine. Listen, I'm going to the viewpoint. I want to see the viewpoint. So back to Satisfactory. So I am waiting for 1.0. I am waiting for the full release, right? That's what they're pushing for now anyway. So they're waiting for the full release 1.0, and that's what I'm going to play. When 1.0 comes out, I mean, that will be the channel. That will be the channel probably for like 2 months straight. I mean, it will be Satisfactory, and I will be playing it. And you know, the big thing about Satisfactory is that it takes a long time to play. It takes a long time to accomplish stuff. Like when you're doing mega big builds in that game, it can take you like a couple of weeks to do a build, right? Unless you're going to use a lot of mods, and it is what it is, right? And I know that Kibbs and other big players that try to do it on YouTube, they use a lot of mods for this reason, because it takes so long to build things in Satisfactory that the only way you can get something done in a half decent time for a video is to use these mods to speed things up. It's just the way it is, right? It's not going to be 4 years. From what I and you can see it now in the actions they're doing. They're trying to wrap up the game. I am pretty sure they're trying to wrap up the game, I would say, for next year, right? And that's not a surprise. Like, basically, it's a business decision for them. When they were coming out with them first updates, they would get a bunch of new players on, right? So they came out with the initial game, a bunch of us bought it, right? Then they came out with update, and each time they came out with an update, they would get a whole bunch of new players buying their game, right? But I think what they seen starting with update 5 was that, like when they came out with update 5, they didn't sell a lot of new copies. They know it's done now, right? So, I mean, you're not going to spend 6 months doing an update. I was going to say, what was that? That was a train. Where's the train at? I just don't see where the train is. You're not going to see you're not going to see a company spend 6 months doing an update to only sell like another 1,000 copies, right? It's about time that Coffee Stain is going to release this game now and move on to another game, right? They're going to want to release this game. Now, they're going to release the game, obviously. They're going to do updates. They're going to do things, right? But I think that's what's going on. They're not selling a lot of copies each time they're doing these mega updates now. And it's like, okay, we now know that the market is saturated. There's not a lot of room for growth. It's time to pack this up and ship it out the door as a done game, right? And that's why they didn't for 3 years. I mean, they could have. I mean, the game has been great all this time, and they could have shipped it out half a dozen times. But it is what it is, and I think that's where they're going with it now. I think that's what they're going to do. You're going to see that game come out within the next, definitely before next Christmas. Definitely before next Christmas. That's why you're seeing the updates now coming out so quickly. So that's why Update 7 is literally just like 3 months after Update 6. And the updates now are really tiny changes. They're not big releases of like all new content. It's all this backwork end stuff. That's what you're seeing now, right? You're going to see now these games. Satisfactory now will start to wrap up. And they're even saying that in their videos now. They're saying, listen, we're wrapping this up. We're going for 1.0. We're doing the things. It's going to happen, right? So it will happen next year. Next year, I don't know when they're going to release next year. But when they do, that it is what I'll be doing, right? The question will become is, like, there was some discussion on the channel once about me going back to my 2,000 hour plus map and then trying to fix that map because it's pretty broken, right? And not to say is that wouldn't be fun to fix, but at the same time, again, Satisfactory is a game that takes a lot of time. And if I'm going to put a lot of time into Satisfactory, I really can't be playing any other game at the time, right? So it's really going to be, one of them things where I think I'm just going to wait for 1.0's release and do the things. No, I mean, they'll do updates. I mean, they'll do updates. What I'm expecting for them to do, Noko, is DLC. Right? So what they're going to do is they're going to finish this game, right? And then you're going to see them do map DLCs, is what you're going to see. Because Satisfactory cannot do random generation for the map, what you're going to see them do is you're going to see them do map DLCs, where they're going to have you go to different planets and you'll go to different planets, hence different maps, and build factories on them, right? So the one thing about Factorio is, and in fact, a lot of games that have fans from around the world is random generation, right? So Factorio, what's one of its key features is that it has random generation. You can play that game 100 times and you'll never play the same map unless you want to play the same map, and then you can. But you don't have to. You can random map generation all day long, right? The reason that the Age of Empires series is still going after 20 plus years, random map generation, right? It's great stuff, right? Games that have random map generation last a long time. Satisfactory knows this, right? They know it's a problem because they couldn't do map generation. But they're going to get around that with DLCs, right? They're going to generate. I would not be surprised. I will not be surprised, right? When they come out and they announce their first DLC as a map DLC, right? And I mean, yeah, sure, you'll get cool little things like maybe they'll give you a new vehicle or something like that to go with the DLC. But all the DLCs they come out with, they will be map DLCs until someone makes their own editor to make their own maps, and then that generation of game makers will take off, and then I don't know how much further they'll go with updating the game after that anyway.
Go
right?
straight on.
That's what you're seeing. That's what you're going to see for a while, though, right? Because doing the 3D maps that they do is very intense. I mean, it's the same as people who make maps here for this game, right? When you buy, like, for the mods for this game, making maps, like making new states that are not sanctioned by SCS, they're pretty intense, right? It's pretty intense stuff. A new viewpoint. Whoa, slow down. Oh, sorry, dude. I didn't mean to run you into you. That's my bad. My bad. Listen, the viewpoint caught me off guard. Where's the viewpoint? Where's the viewpoint? I don't see it. It's to my left. It's on the left. Where is it? Well, I don't see it. Where is it? You know what? We're gonna drive around and find it. That's what I'm doing. Gosh darn it. We're gonna make a right turn here. I am not leaving this behind, mister. There's a viewpoint here. I am finding it. See, they put all these new viewpoints in on the old maps, right? So, obviously, New Mexico didn't have these viewpoints. So now they've put on these new viewpoints. I got to go collect them, right? All right, where's this viewpoint at?
Turn right.
Well, it's here somewhere. I see it. 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 I got it. I got you. I got you. Here we go.
Get ready to turn right.
3D map generation is crazy hard, dude. So Factorio can do it because it's 2D, right? Age of Empires 2, it's 2D, right? Almost every game that has random map generation is all 2D. Yes, it looks 3D, but really it's a 2D surface, right? They did it in No Man's Sky. Yeah, okay, I'm going to say yes, but that is the exception. Right? Like take GTA 5. Take Red Dead Redemption 1, 2 or whatever. All these 3D worlds, you notice that they can't just have random map generation, right? 3D map generation is nearly impossible to pull off without the computing power behind it. It's just crazy. No Man's Sky, yes, quote unquote, they random generated a universe, but I think the universe, now, the universe was generated, but it only had to be generated the one time, right? So there's 256 universes in No Man's Sky. Yes, to random generate that entire universe did take a lot of processing and computing power, but it only had to be done once. It doesn't have to be done like there's no button in there that allows you to random generate a new universe every like 60 times a second or something, right? So yes, they did it, but the company did it. You didn't do it, right? You didn't randomly generate that stuff. They did, right? So yes, they did, but it's got a huge asterisk on it, and I don't really count that, right? So it's just the way it is. 3D random map generation is still not at a place in current technology to do it, right? And of course, we're at the city of Roswell, the home birthplace of UFOs. That's definitely up my alley, right? So, I mean, we had to stop here, right? This is a stop we were going to make. So yeah, it's the 3D-ness. It's the true 3D characteristics of the game, right? And again, right? Like, it's just technology. Technology isn't there yet. I'm sure it will be one day. But I mean, if you're getting into 3D random map generation, you're only a couple steps away from having a holodeck. Really? Because once you can do random 3D generation, well, you just got to scale that up big enough to fit it into a whole room. And then you've got a holodeck, right? Minecraft is 3D. Yes, but its generation is kind of different. And again, it comes with a huge asterisk, right? I mean, compare the graphics on this to Minecraft. All right. You're talking about block segments versus a wheel, which looks perfectly round and is taking so many voxels to make that wheel that you can see the shimmer. Do you see the shimmer on the wheel? There's so many voxels taking place right now just to make this round wheel that they're actually colliding, okay? So again, trying to compare Minecraft to this, it's not in the same space, right? Just doesn't do it. But anyway, that's why Minecraft 3D, sorta, but it's, I would have to, dude, how rude. I was pulling out there, dude. You could have let me go, you bum. Yeah, so it'd be really hard space. But that's why but like in ETS2, as well as ATS, there are mod makers out there that have made entire new states. Like in fact, you can drive across North America, right? If you install that mod. It puts all 50 states and all of Canada in. There's a mod out there for the entire country of Mexico and the Mexico maps. But those had to be handmade. All of that is handmade, and their forms, even SCS's forms, even have instructions on how you can do that. If you're that inclined to make your own maps, you can do that. They have that all in their forms, but it's not random generation. It's handcrafted mapping, right? It's 3D art. It's 3D FX arting, right? So it is what it is. The technology, I'm sure, will be there one day. It's just not there today. It's not today. It isn't. Let's see where we are. We just left Roswell. We're getting closer here all the time. I was going to look at something. What was I looking at? I don't know. You flipped out for a reason there, dude. Sure. Oh, I remember. I had to fix the screen. That's I was saying. You flipped this out there for a reason, dude. Why are you flipping it out there? There we go. Do that. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. All right, there we go. So yeah, we got another 82 miles to go. We'll be at Hobbs. We'll have the truck parked up. We're gonna get rid of We'll have the can. We've got the candy, and of course, just for a few. Just for a few minutes, we'll have a quick look around, of course, to end things up for the day, and then of course we're going to talk about the schedule coming up this week and all the things. So, am I going to get any opportunities to get another couple 8s in here? This looks like a possible opportunity. Let's see what we can get here. Let's see if I pull the truck out here and do an 8. Sometimes that makes it work a little better. So let's see what we get here. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, give me a good angle. There we go. Nice. That's what I want to see. You want to see the good angles, right? Yeah, make that happen, dude. Make that happen. Room. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Yeah, do that. All the things. All right. Yeah, we're going straight on. As we're coming through town. You gonna slow down there, dude, or are you gonna run into the back of this car? Well, it's not the first time I've run into the back of a car. Don't say that. All right, so let's get ready to make this left turn, and we head to Hobbs. Let's go. And then of course, because we gotta have a look at the map, right? This is a thing that has to happen. Gotta have a look at the map. All the things. Oh yeah, we're driving down the highway, making things happen. What are you gonna do here? Do you want to do a 6? This is such a nice straight stretch though. All right, are you gonna give me a nice 8? Give me 1 8. Give me a decent 8. Maybe. There's a nice decent 8. I'll take that. All right, let's do a 6 here for a second. So yeah. What do we got coming up? Well, we've got Icarus Monday, you betcha. And on Icarus Monday, like I mentioned, we are going to be doing the knife challenge again. And on this map, we've got the crocodiles, we've got bears, we've got Komodo dragons, we got all the things. That's going to happen on Monday with the knife only challenge, and I expect to be pulling all my hair out. I have no doubt on that, for sure. Of course, then we're going to have Railgrade next week as well. At least 2 episodes, possibly 3. ATS does not come out for about a week and 3/4, so there'll be no ATS next week. But the second it drops on the following Tuesday, boom, we have it installed. I think it installs around 2 p.m. my time. Bam, we will be all over it like a kid in pudding. You betcha. Yeah, I should do the knife challenge in a boss level. Yeah, and then watch me die 50 times and never get out of it, right? Because that's a thing. Not to worry. There'll be enough excitement on Monday, I think, to keep you entertained at least a little bit. I'm sure there'll be some entertainment. It's going to be pretty crazy. Let's just go with that. Because again, I gotta squeeze everything in within a couple hours, right? And if I'm going to do the knife only challenge right from the space station, then you only got so much time, right? I am always entertained. You betcha. I love it. I love it when I get a new subscriber, and of course the alert comes up. Are you not entertained? I love that. I think it's awesome every time. Every time. It's all good in the neighborhoods. Yeah, we're coming in. Gonna get parked up. We're gonna have a look at the map. Texas is gonna come along, and it's all good. Good thing no trains out here, because I wasn't slowing. I hate that. Now I understand why they do it, because they don't want they don't want you parking the truck on the tracks intentionally and all that stuff. But at the same time, I do hate it when a train comes along and the lights come on and you're just about to cross the railroad tracks when they do it. I hate the AI for that. And then you literally crash into the whole thing, because it's in real life, if you were 30 feet from the lights when the lights first come on, you would just drive you wouldn't slam on the brakes at 80 miles an hour. Anyway, it is what it is. Let's get ready to make this left-hand turn. Yeah, we're going to make this left-hand turn. Excuse me, beep, beep. All the things. I know. Well, you guys can be cranky with me later. We'll get in here. I really... Because this puts us down in Hobbs. I mean, we are literally sitting right on the border of Texas. I mean, we are not getting any... We are ready to go, people. When this thing drops on Tuesday the 15th, we are going to jump in the truck and let's hit the road. Now, like I said, I will be driving my standard truck. I will be driving my Argo C cab over for that, because I like my truck. Everybody has their own favorite truck in the game, and we'll be driving my Argo C. All good in the neighborhoods. Let's see. Where do you guys want this load? Holy smokes, way too far. All right, here comes Wally Mart. Wally Mart's coming up. I guess this is where they want it, because it's holy smokes. These big trips, right? Did I slow down enough? And yeah, oh yeah. Who did it? You betcha. Give me the stuff. Give me the things. Where do you want the trailer? It's in the back. There aren't true electric trucks. I mean, Tesla again does have an electric truck. Yes, there are some prototype electric trucks out there, but nothing in terms of in true reliability as of yet, right? I do know that Tesla has sold some of their Tesla trucks to Pepsi, to PepsiCo, and I think they'll be coming out. They'll probably do that in California first, because there's a lot of infrastructure for that stuff in California. But, dude, why did you put the trees right through the building? What's going on here? Okay, well, I'll worry about getting out of here shortly. I think they've done something wrong with their pixelating art. It appears they may have accidentally built this building over the top of something else. We'll worry about that in a minute. Let's get this thing backed up into this parking lot. You betcha. All right, do all the things. Yep. Come on, give it a gear, dude. You know, don't be playing around with it all day. You gonna give it a gear or what? You betcha. Yep, all the things. Yep, bring it around. You're gonna have to bring it around a little faster, Max. Yep, that was bad. All right, listen. Even I'm allowed to get a little sloppy sometimes. All right, there we go. First of all, you got to cut that wheel really hard, dude. You got to get this thing in there. This spot, I mean, it is a 90K. This is a 90 XP spot, so I guess I shouldn't be messing around. Some spots aren't really 90 XP. They're kind of like more cheesy, but yeah, see, this is much better. There you go, Max. You got it lined up this time, buddy. It's all good in the neighborhood. There you go. You've got her lined up the right way this time. We'll get it in here. There you go. Swing it around a little bit. Yeah. Well, we're going to straighten it up here a little first. Yep, right about there. We'll back it up. All done in the neighborhood. Hit the T's. All the cross dots the I's. You betcha. Let's see what we got. Yeah, 1,162 of them miles. Let's see, that'd be about 1,700 kilometers, I guess. No. Yes, 1,700 kilometers. Yeah, about that. I mean, it's a rough estimate, you know. And with that, of course, yep, more XP, all the things. Do the things. You gotta love the background for the Halloween. I must admit, this it was a really nice touch of them to add this extra Halloween background special. And of course, let's have a look at the map. We are here at the very bottom. I mean, it doesn't get. This is Texas, people. It does not get any closer. Look, they've got a road out here. Look, there's a road out here. I can drive there. Look, I can calculating route. Calculating route. Look, it just can't calculate it. It can't do it. They've got a road out there. I'm ready to drive out there. We are here at Hobbs. We are definitely going to drive there. You betcha. Highway 10. Now, it's funny. I mean, I could have went to Las Cruces here for Highway 10, which comes down this way. But I mean, this is as far in as I can get. Can't get any closer. So, November 15th. As soon as the DLC drops, boom, we'll have it installed. We're going to make things happen, all the stuff. And as mentioned, what do we got coming up for the week? We got Icarus Monday. Be sure to hang out for that. Of course, it's the knife-only challenge. We're going to take on some crocodiles. We're going to take on some bears. I'm going to probably pull my teeth out. It's going to be a crazy time. Of course, then we've got Railgrade this week coming up as well. And then, of course, this will drop Tuesday of next week. We're going to do that as well. I'm Max. I want to thank everybody for hanging out today. Sanchez, Noko, as always, I appreciate it. You know, all the things. Names. Go back up top. I see names. What names? Base. What? Base. I'm really glad you could stop in and say hi. So I'm glad you got to stick around as well doing it. So with that, and of course, everybody that hangs out later on, I'm always very appreciative of it. Of course, as mentioned at the start of the video, if you're watching this in video format later, just for funs, feel free to watch it at double speed. Like change the video speed to ×2. I still sound awesome. Believe it or not, I don't know why. I just do. So anyway, that is something for you to try out. All the things, not the wrong one, dude. There you go. All the things. I appreciate everybody for hanging out. I'm Max. This, of course, has been American Truck Simulator. Let's get rid of the map so we can see the background one more time. Yeah, look at that. That looks awesome. I want to thank everybody for hanging out, and I will see you on the next one. Take care.